Did you recognize the shooter?
Yes, sir.
Who was the shooter in that video?
Hakeem Robinson.
Your son, Hakeem Robinson.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I'm so
Come here.
sorry.
Come here.
I'm so sorry.
It isn't unusual for parents to hear about their kids' bad behavior from time to time. However, when this news has to do with their children taking someone else's life, it can produce a great deal of agony.
Where's the knife?
Sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. I don't know what to I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. Please. I'm so sorry.
He's breathing. They're doing everything they can. Man, I can't.
12-year-old daughter. I don't understand why she would do something like that. She's 12.
Here are times when parents get told their kid is the starting with the case of John Goodwin, who was left dumbfounded when he received the news about his son's atrocious act.
You don't think he did? I don't want to believe that. I don't believe any of this. There's more, ain't there?
I'm trying to figure out how I want to say this.
Hey,
there is a body part
Oh, God,
in
man.
this bag.
On October the 29th, 2020, after shopping for groceries at the supermarket, a man, Adam Webb, returned to his pickup van to find a strange trash bag sitting in the trunk. Concerned about what it might be, he immediately called 911 to report the strange item. Police officers were then dispatched to the supermarket and, upon arrival, they searched the bag and found several disturbing items in it.
Where was it?
It's in the tinfoil.
They don't know where this come from? Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Tell them to come on. It's a head. Maybe a woman's head.
All right, let's make sure. Let's go ahead and let's get her parked over there. Let's go ahead and walk this off.
Okay, he needs
Who
out.
looked in it?
Huh?
Who looked in it?
Both of us. She just
So,
kind of.
is it a real head or?
Oh yeah, no, it's real.
Make sure
The
it's
woman
Halloween
looks
or
like a
not.
woman. No, it looks like a woman's head. That's the owner right there, Sarge. That's the owner of the truck right there.
So put it back in the car.
That's what we're trying. This is Walmart. He's trying to get the film here, but that's the owner. I don't think so.
No, I
She-
sure I was like,
She's got a black eye and everything. And it smells like real blood. So,
The location was immediately declared a crime scene, and officers began searching around for possible clues that would provide some details about who left the bag. However, when CCTV footage was reviewed, officers found that the bag was already in Adam's trunk by the time he arrived at the store. With this information, they invited him to the police station for further questioning.
We're trying to just piece together what's going on. I do not believe that you have any part of this. You're not under arrest. You're free to get up and leave anytime you want to. Okay, I want you to understand that. We just want you to help us so that we can try to piece together what happened.
Okay.
So where all have you been today?
Today,
Yes, sir.
just to Walmart.
Okay, so you left from your house and went to Walmart, and then tell me what happened when you got to Walmart.
I got there around noon or so. Had a short grocery list, just a couple of things: milk, flour, eggs. Wife's doing some baking. Came back out to the truck. I noticed something in the back and looked a little weird, so opened it up. I saw what looked like blood, and I backed away and called 911.
Okay. You didn't see what was in the bag?
No.
Okay.
Well, I saw there was another bag, and it looked like there was some red liquid all over it and maybe some socks or something.
Okay.
And that was all I saw.
Have you noticed anything unusual last night and heard any noises? Anybody strange in the neighborhood, vehicles, anything like that?
No. I have seen a guy walking down the street, older gentleman with a backpack a couple of times, and I don't know where he's going to, but
Okay.
I see him walking up and down Malvern, and then I walk down our street. So I don't know if he just walks everywhere or what, but I don't know him.
Would there be anywhere on your street that maybe somebody has a homeless camp? Like, is there any woods or anything right around their house or anything like that?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
You know, we walk our dog up and down the street all the time, and there's only one vacant lot, which is kind of at the end of Spencer on the right. But like I said, the house next door to me hadn't had anybody living in it in years, but there've been contractors in there for months now.
I mentioned the house, or
go ahead.
If needed, I don't even know that we need to yet. But would you, the consent form that we walked through earlier about your vehicle, would you also do that for your house as well?
Yeah.
Just to kind of cross our, T's, dot our I's types. And I don't even know that we need to do that yet, but just in case we do.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with that?
That'd be fine.
Okay.
Because somebody might have left something somewhere else that would help us, if we're looking for whatever.
Soon after, the police received information that the head belonged to 63-year-old Connie Joan Goodwin, who was found lifeless in her home by a co-worker. Connie's husband, John Goodwin, was thereafter informed about the demise of his wife, and as if that wasn't enough to deal with, John realized that his son, Aaron Goodwin, had gone missing. Terrified that Aaron may be in serious trouble, John immediately filed a missing persons report. At that point, he was unaware that there was more than meets the eye about his son.
Come on in and have a seat anywhere.
Okay.
And I'll be right back. And I appreciate you coming in.
That's fine. Mom? Yeah. Hi. Hey, I can't talk right now. I'm at the police station. Because Aaron went missing, and I turned him in as a missing person. And they came to the motel and just got me here about 20 minutes ago, so I'm sitting in here waiting for him to come and talk to me, I guess. Last night he went missing and never came back this morning.
Mr. Goodwin, this is Detective Hunter Scott. I'm Detective Sergeant Freeman.
How are you?
I'm all right. There's my credentials if you'd like to see it.
Okay.
All right, so, like I said, we're here to ask you about this report, do some follow-up with you about this report you made this morning about your son. Now, your son is Aaron Enoch Goodwin, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and you're John Goodwin?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Just so I know, the officers do their best they can as making reports with all the complete details, but let me just let you just act like you're starting from the very beginning with me and tell me what's going on with your son and all of that.
Are you guys believers? Can I ask you that? Are you Christians?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. That might help.
Okay.
He's, I think, I'm not sure. He's not been right. And he thinks God wanted him to go on a walkabout. And I'm trying to help him. And I brought him down here and rented that place for 3 days. He was going to go on his walkabout. So I went in and rented it. Came back out, he's going through his gear, and I'm standing there talking to him. And he goes, well, yeah, I'll be up in a minute. Okay. I hear him hold around a little bit, talking with him. I said, well, I can see you want me to leave, I don't know, so you can do whatever you're going to do. Went up to the room, probably a span of an hour or so, and I go, something's not right, he'd been up here by now. And when I'm down, he's gone. His gear's gone.
Okay. And this is last night?
This was last night.
Okay.
I think we rolled in there about 8-ish, maybe before.
Does your son still live with you?
He has a trailer beside my house.
Okay.
John revealed to the officers that Aaron had been acting very weird for a long time, and he could tell that something was not right.
But Mom.
I found out she did this morning.
Do you find out
They
that...
found her dead this morning.
Who did?
A co-worker. She didn't come into work, and they found her in the tub.
And that's your wife?
That's my wife.
Are y'all still married?
Oh, yeah.
What's her name?
Her name was Connie. So, I've been trying to piece this day together, obviously. I don't know, I'm waiting, I was so messed up, I called my brother to come and drive me home. My brother and sister-in-law, and they're on their way. I didn't think I could drive when I found out. I couldn't have. I did okay now.
Okay, so you're saying that someone found, your wife's coworker found her?
That's correct.
In the tub?
Yeah, she did. She didn't clock in, and they got worried.
And when did you receive this information?
This morning, after I'd called here a little while, maybe hour or so later.
So after you reported your son missing, you found out that your wife was deceased?
Yeah.
The situation was getting trickier by the minute, and when John made an additional revelation about Aaron's disappearance, officers became more interested in how Aaron's disappearance could be connected to his deceased mother.
And you've tried calling him, right?
Yeah.
And is it going straight to his voicemail, or is it ringing a few times before it goes to a voicemail, or?
It rang a few times. Then I text.
All right.
Do you know what kind of phone he has?
Matter of fact, I didn't tell you that. I have his phone because somebody brought it to the desk this morning. I got this text. I don't have it on me, but I got this text from him this morning, or from his phone. This said, found this phone in the bed of my truck in Hot Springs. Not sure why it's in the bed of my truck, but I'm leaving it at the front desk of the Doubletree Inn in Hot Springs. I said, okay, thanks.
And that was today?
Yes, this morning. I didn't think to grab that thing. I should have did that. So I was wondering about him. So whoever it was returned his phone.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be on their surveillance? Just, what if it was him?
Maybe.
Why would he be there at that time in the morning? You know, see, after I didn't see him.
And you said there were messages about condolences
from his friend, one of his friends.
About?
Just the one, about his mom. That came later in the day. He probably saw it on Facebook or something.
Okay.
My assumption.
Was that posted on Facebook?
I don't know. Or somebody may have told him.
Do you know what happened?
No, I haven't found out
yet. Did they tell you anything about it?
Last I knew, right before you guys came, they took her to the funeral home, and then they were going to take her for an autopsy. Is that the way they do it normally?
Depends. They didn't tell you anything about,
Nobody. Yeah, I was talking. That's what Keela, I think she was trying to tell me when she called. She said, I got to talk to you when you're done. So I assume, I was just talking to her about that she might have some news on that. But.
Okay.
So, I may have wrote this down.
I know.
My memory is terrible.
This is a weird
so please
story.
Forgive me.
I know.
So who?
I guess you guys see a lot.
So you said Connie's coworker found her.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. And then your son-in-law is the one that called you.
Yeah. See, he's off on military business in Indiana or somewhere. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't remember. But they got a hold of him, and he got a hold of me because her coworker is also his niece.
Okay. The one that found her is...
That's correct.
Is Terry's
niece.
Terry's niece.
Okay.
They got in by the law. The law got them in because the door was locked. And because I called her, no answer. What the heck? Well, she has, I call them seizures. They don't diagnose her as that. They call them, the doctors actually call them spells because they can't figure out what's wrong with her. And she'll have to lay down a day or two.
So that's when you called your brother and sister-in-law?
Correct. Well, I didn't know what was wrong yet.
Right.
So they get up to my house, and the co-worker gets there, and then all about the same time they call 911, and then the law came in and opened it up, the door, because it was locked.
Finally, the cops were able to get the tiny piece of detail they needed to tie the case and provide closure for everyone involved.
So you were intending on staying here for 3 days?
No, I was going to just go back to work.
Okay.
This morning.
But was Aaron planning on staying here for 3 days? Because the reservation was for 3 days, right?
That was his plan.
Okay.
Because I said, if we're going to do this, you got to have a plan. I'm not just chasing my tail now. And that was his plan. He told me.
Okay. Do you know what all he had in his backpack?
I have no idea. I just
Change of clothes, food?
Sure he had clothes.
Okay.
It wasn't a real big backpack. He did have a black plastic bag too, though. Come to think of it. Like a trash bag.
Okay.
It's not in the truck or anything. So that's gone. So he might have had stuff in there. Well, I'm sure he did. He threw it in the back when we left. It was raining. I just assumed he's keeping it dry. So that's true. He could have a black backpack was black and then a black trash can. But I mean, he could have dumped it. I don't know. So everyone left, and I was leaving. Here's where it gets weird. As I was leaving, I said, "Are you ready?" I said goodbye to Connie, kiss, and all that. I locked the door behind me. He said, "I need you to go to Walmart, which is in Fort Scott. Here's Fort Scott. Here's my house." I said, I need you to get me a pair of black gloves, dress gloves, leather if you can. Well, they don't have no such thing.
Black dress leather gloves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I said, "Why don't we get them on the way? Why backtrack?" He said, Would you do it for me?" He said, I gotta have prayer. I need a little time. Okay. I went there. That was about maybe 15-minute drive.
He didn't go with you?
No, he stayed there.
Okay.
He stayed there. That was the whole deal. He said he wanted to have prayer for a while. Would I go get these gloves? I said, well, just wait. No, I really need you to do this. So I went to look for him. I didn't find any, but I did buy a couple items from Walmart. And I noticed on my receipt I checked out at 12:32. Because I was trying to put all these times together.
Okay.
I was, today, when I finally got myself together, I got to thinking about this is weird. Okay? So I come home, and here's my driveway, here's the road, and there he is at the end of the driveway. Well, I thought it was weird. I stopped, he threw the plastic bag in there. He already had his backpack in there, I think, and hopped in, and I said, already said bye to Mom. I guess I'm ready. I just wanted to get down here before dark because I can't see very well driving in the dark and the rain together. And I didn't know if it was raining or not. That's it. Then we left.
Did you tell him that you couldn't find the gloves? Or? Right.
I said we'd have to go to JCPenney's or something like that. That's what the lady at the store suggested. Because I said, is there a men's clothing store around? No, no Fort Scott.
Didn't say what he wanted black dress leather gloves for?
He'd been just all black lately. Black clothes, for the most part. No, he didn't say why. I wondered that too.
At this point, John realized how his interpretation of events suggested that his son might have been responsible for his mother's horrific ending. And although he suspected this from the beginning, he hoped to be wrong.
You don't think he would have, do you?
Mr. Goodwin, I have no idea.
That's what after I got to thinking, I'm like, oh my God. I don't either. But that's why I did a kind of went back in my mind as best I could and looked at texts and phone calls and those receipts to try to put a time on it.
What's your feeling?
I think he might. I think he might have.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think I'm leaving nothing out. If I think of something, I will. I don't know. It's just been acting so crazy. I don't want to believe that. I don't believe any of this.
The CCTV footage at the hotel where John and Aaron lodged was later reviewed, and it showed a very perplexed and confused Aaron dumping the trash bag into the back of Adam Webb's van.
Some of my other co-workers have been in contact with Vernon County, Missouri, and I don't know how else other to say this other than just come out right out and say it. They are investigating Connie's death as a homicide investigation. They haven't given us a whole lot of details, but with being told that, and also that it is believed that Aaron may have had something to do with it.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So if there's anything else that you know, you need to tell us.
That's it.
In any conversation down here with that information, knowing that, any conversation on your way down here.
There was a note.
There was a note.
I forgot about that. It's in my cup holder. It said something like, I thought I was doing God's will.
And this note.
That's all it said.
And you found that when?
This morning. Yeah, but I stuck it in my cup holder.
Where was it when you found it?
It was on my console, top of my console.
Okay. And it says?
And it was on top of the room key, and I just stuck it in my cup holder, but then I got to thinking about that.
And it said what again?
I believed I was doing God's will, but I didn't know what that meant, so it didn't make sense to me.
That's the whole content of the note?
That's it.
It was now clear that Aaron Goodwin took his mother's life, and when officers shared their tragic findings with his father, he was completely horrified.
There's more, ain't there?
I'm trying to figure out how I want to say this.
Okay.
I guess the easiest way for let me walk you through my day. I guess let's do that. Let's do it that way. I'm going to be a little graphic with you, just so I make sure that you understand exactly what's happening here. Okay. So we get a call today at the local Walmart here in town. Okay. That a gentleman has called 911, and he has told the operator that there is a black trash bag in his truck, in the bell of his truck. He's never seen it before, and whenever he opened this truck, there was blood inside the bag that had come out.
There was blood in the bag?
Yes, sir.
Lots of blood? I mean, from what? I mean...
Also...
I'd like to know that.
Yeah.
There is...
How bad was she?
There is...
How bad was she?
There is a body part.
Oh, God, man.
In this bag.
What was it, her?
And it, by all intents and purposes, it does appear that it is your wife. So I think you now maybe can understand a little bit why we're treating this the way that we are, and why we're trying to get as much information from you as we possibly can.
How come you think it's her? Tell me, just tell me.
You want me to be blunt with you?
Yeah.
Your wife was decapitated.
What the hell? You gotta be kidding. Nobody told me. They knew, didn't they? I mean, my family knew.
I don't know what they have been told.
If law enforcement went out with them, they probably didn't let them see her.
But Becca went in there, I heard.
Usually, if law enforcement goes out with
Maybe not.
someone, they aren't going to let her in.
Oh, God.
Aaron Goodwin managed to remain out of sight after his mother's passing, and 5 months later, his body was found in the woods. Similar to John's reaction, Thee's mother, who cried non-stop when she learned that her 12-year-old was responsible for her brother's demise.
I don't understand why she would do something like that. She's 12. She's never been aggressive or anything.
Yeah.
It's not like her. Like, I just don't understand why she would have so much anger towards him.
I'll give you guys.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh my God.
Go back up.
On January the 5th, 2023, police officers were dispatched to a home where a 12-year-old girl was said to have harmed her brother and had left him struggling for his life. When the officers arrived, they found the girl in tears as she repeatedly apologized to her mother, who was now hysterical and in shock at her actions, and the fact that her world as she knew it would never be the same again.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
Come here,
sorry.
come here.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We're just gonna put handcuffs on just for now.
I'm sorry. Just pull up my pants.
Where's the
I'm
knife?
sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. I don't know what chest. I'm so. I'm sorry. Please. I'm so sorry. Julie, you better pray to God. I am praying, Mom. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
How old are you?
I'm 12 years old.
Where's the knife?
I was upstairs in my room and I threw it out the window. And it's behind the apartment right here.
You threw it where?
I threw it out my window upstairs.
Right
not
up here?
not right there. It's the room. It's the other room. It's right behind the apartment. This apartment right here.
So where would the knife be? On that side?
Right behind. Yeah. I'm so sorry, Mama. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. This is some demonic shit. I'm so sorry.
What's your mom's name?
What?
What's your mom's name?
I gotta go with him. I'm so sorry. I don't know what the happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
Come over here so we're out of the paramedics' way.
I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry.
Hey, what's your name? Seat for me. Sit crisscross on the grass, okay? Just sit there for a second. You don't have the knife on you, right?
No, I swear I don't. I'm
Sorry.
sorry. I don't. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
Is there anybody else inside the house?
No, it's just me, my mom, and my brother. He's dying.
Hey, how would I get to the knife? Is there the back side?
I can show you.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I really didn't want things to happen like this. This sucks. I'm so sorry. I'm probably gonna go to jail. I'm gonna live the rest of my life in prison.
That's it right there?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't know what
Do me a favor. We're going to sit crisscross applesauce right here.
Okay.
Which one is it?
First apartment right here. Hey, she threw the knife over here.
Stay there. I'll look at it.
It's right there.
Okay.
I don't know what the I did.
Stick your hands out like this for me. Do you have any cuts on you?
I do.
Where at?
On my arm.
Which arm?
Both of them. My left one is just small cuts.
Did you cut yourself?
Yes. Actually, I'm at my right arm. It just has the small cuts, and then my left one has the cuts. I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Mom, and then fire and IMSA was. Hey, real quick, I'm gonna take you out of handcuffs and I'm gonna take your hoodie off, okay? That way we can see the cut that you have.
Okay.
As medics arrived to take the boy to the hospital, the kid's mother, April Leiter, found herself torn between being there for her 9-year-old son who was fighting for her life or her daughter, whose life might be turned upside down as a result of her heinous crime.
What's happening with her? I'm so sorry. What's gonna happen with her? I need to go to the hospital.
I don't know yet. You don't know yet. You go with the hospital. We'll come and talk to you, okay?
Whatever happens, just be calm, okay? I don't know what happened tonight. So sorry. We'll figure it out. I have to go be with your brother. Make sure he's okay. I don't know what I did. I'm so sorry. I love you.
Does your arm hurt?
No.
Okay. It's not bleeding, so I think we're good. I'm gonna stick your hoodie back over, okay?
Okay.
Let's go this way.
Am I going to jail?
We're gonna figure it out, okay?
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry.
What's your last name? How do you spell your first name?
Yeah.
What's your birthday? Here, let's back up so you can have room to... You have shoes or anything?
No, just socks.
Okay.
I have stickers in my socks right now. A lot of stickers.
Is he going to the hospital?
Yeah.
Okay.
The little girl was later transported to the station where she was kept and processed further. The officers, on the other hand, waited for more instructions on what steps to take regarding the situation.
Sorry, my little flash is not the best. Just go ahead and we'll leave it like that for now. I'll take some like this. Go ahead and turn your hands over. Okay. And then, can you pull up your sleeves for me? Thank you. Okay, our restroom's right over here.
Where's the bathroom?
It's, sadly, we only have one.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, and if you need water or soda or anything, go ahead. It's just the one seater. I've got everything for her.
Okay.
We're gonna leave it on just for a bit. How was she over here?
She was asleep. She was good.
Does she know?
No, she doesn't know. I'm not telling her anything yet.
Okay.
I'll let you do it.
I understand. We're gonna go this way.
Camera here.
You can go ahead. No, thanks. I'll take this guy. I'll bring it with us. We're gonna come over here. Your mom's here too. They just pulled in. Okay? I'm gonna kind of walk you through everything. And we'll just go from there. And we'll just hang out in here for now, okay? Well, we're gonna talk to your mom first, and then we'll talk to both of you at the same time. Okay?
Okay.
Do you want anything to drink? Do you bring any soda
I'm
or
good.
water? Do you want a snack at all too?
It's fine.
Okay. Because I've got snacks. It's really cold in our building, so we have a blanket for you too. Okay.
Okay.
And then let me ask: are these the clothes you were wearing all night, or did you change up? Okay. And then, if you ever need food or anything, let us know.
Her mother, distraught about the entire situation, stated how her daughter's action had taken her by complete surprise. A reaction any mother would have after hearing such terrible news about their own child.
Okay. I'm gonna sit down with you if that's okay. Okay, so right now, he's breathing. They're doing everything they can, but I was just talked to the doctor and she was saying it's all good things right now.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
So
both my kids tonight.
I know that this is a probably. I mean, I can't.
12-year-old daughter. I don't understand why she would do something like that. She's 12.
I understand.
What the hell?
Hey, Sarge, I'm with Mom. What's up? I'm working on it right. Yeah, she just walked in. I'm working on it right now. All right. Okay, and I'm gonna have Okay, Roger. Alright, I'll call you back. Yep. Okay, and I'll send you his information. And, alright, give me 1 second. Roger, I'll call you right back here in about 5 minutes. Alright.
I got 142 today.
I'm sorry about that. That was my supervisor. But I said, I cannot imagine what you're going through right now.
She's never been aggressive or anything.
Yeah.
It's not like her. Like, it's like they bully each other like brother and sisters, but they never like fist fight or do anything like that.
So
It
this
was
is
just
completely...
He was in bed. He was downstairs trying to sleep. I don't know why she even went down there. Like, what the hell was she? I don't understand any of it. All I know is I heard him screaming. The worst scream ever, and I thought maybe he was having a nightmare, so I started to try to wake him up, and there's blood everywhere. And he said, she stabbed me. I was like, ew. And he started going in and out of consciousness, and so that's what they told me, to put him on the floor, do chest compressions, and I couldn't find my daughter anywhere. I was screaming her name, and she ran out after she did it because she was scared. And
So right now she's safe and she's in custody with us right now. It is a really this is a very there's no words that I can tell you that's gonna.
So weird. Why would she do that?
Those are answers we're gonna be looking for. And
like it's just weird. They don't really get along that great, but that was. Never would have assumed she'd do something like that. That's crazy to me. Like, she was like, I don't know why. It was crazy. I don't know. She doesn't even curse. Like, I don't know.
It's just, I can.
She's not a bad kid. Like, she doesn't do bad things. You know what I mean? Like, she
totally
doesn't get in trouble. It was weird,
Although the little girl revealed what had happened, it was crucial for the officers to conduct a sweep of the apartment to aid further investigation.
Like, I just don't understand why she would have so much anger towards him, especially bedtime.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I knew I should have told him no. He asked if he could sleep downstairs, and I said yes. I wish I would have said no.
Well, there's nothing. Don't blame yourself. There's nothing that you could have done differently.
But I normally tell him no. And this night I was like, yeah, fine.
I mean, there's nothing that you could have done differently. I mean, don't blame yourself for any of this.
I didn't protect him. I didn't know she was gonna do something. No, like,
it's not your fault.
Supposed to know.
It's not you.
I know, but I feel like I didn't protect him. Like, this is his home. He's supposed to feel safe.
Well, and again, like,
His own sister, you know, that he will never forgive her. She will never. It will never be. There will always be issues now between them. Like, what the hell is she thinking?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, she's 12 years old. At that age, you know, there's a lot of things going on in the brain she probably wasn't thinking.
Hello. Okay, he's here.
So I'll meet him in the waiting room.
She's gonna meet you in the waiting room. Bring you back here. Yeah, just the waiting room with the children's hospital, the children's emergency room. Yeah, the children's side. Okay. It's St. Francis Children's side, yeah.
So real quick, I know that I'm probably the last person you want to talk to right now, but so what we need is a search waiver for the apartment, so we can go through, have our crime scene detectives go through and do a thorough investigation of this. So you don't have to authorize us to do this, but I mean, it would really aid in our investigation of trying to figure out everything that's going on.
We know what happened. My daughter says she got a knife and stabbed him 3 times.
Well, we need to find the knife, and we need to do all that.
Can I be there?
I
just don't know. I don't have anyone there right now.
Well, there's nothing. It's not like, I mean, if there's any, like, we're not looking for any, like, I'm not saying, I'm just saying, like drugs or anything illegal.
That.
That's not for that.
I just don't. Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna sign it. I just don't have anyone that can be there right now.
Well, and that's the thing, is there won't be any, like, because this is like crime scene detectives that go through, and it could even be homicide that goes through. And
I do have 2 cats there too. I don't want them to get out.
And they're not going to get out.
Okay, yeah.
So your name is, and you're only authorizing us to go through there.
Okay. Did she not get the knife for you guys when?
Well, she got.
Where it was?
Well, if it's inside the house.
She said it was in her room.
Okay, well, so that's the thing. We can't just go in there.
Yeah.
So the only thing I need to get from you is your signature right here. Here's a pen.
Right here?
Yeah. then today's date is the 6th. And what's your apartment? What's the... I'll give you guys.
Hi.
Hi. How are you? Go back over there and give him some time.
Unfortunately, the little boy passed away at the hospital where he was receiving treatment. After the incident, April publicly disclosed that her daughter was on medication and its side effects could have been responsible for pushing her to the extreme and committing the gruesome act. The 12-year-old is now said to be receiving treatment at a children's facility in Tulsa. Unlike April, this father was able to maintain his composure after hearing that his son took another man's life.
Now, when you watched that video of the Charles McCormick, did you recognize the shooter?
Yes, sir.
Who was the shooter in that video?
Hakeem Robinson.
Your son, Hakeem Robinson.
Yes, sir.
On the 15th of January 2020, a rapper, Hakeem Robinson, who goes by the name K-Sue, was said to have taken the law into his hands by taking another man's life after said individual, Charles McCormick, popularly known as Lil Buck, released a diss track about him. After the attack, the police began investigating the situation and invited Hakeem's father and notorious gang leader, Abdul Robinson Sr., for questioning.
Mr. Robinson, again, Joel Cooper with State Attorney's Office, here to take a sworn statement from you. If you would, please raise your right hand. Mr. Robinson, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You understand that the oath you just took is just like taking an oath in court, and that if you lie in a material way, that is a felony. It's called perjury, punishable by up to 5 years in prison. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, today you're obviously familiar with the person.
Yes, sir.
Okay. As it relates to your case?
Yes, sir.
And his nickname?
Yes.
Are you aware of a song put out prior to him being shot in January 2020?
Yes, sir.
And what was your understanding of what that song was about?
It was a diss song about...
So you said a diss song?
Yes.
Did Hakeem Robinson know about the song?
Yes, sir.
Did he ever talk to you about the song?
Yeah.
And how did he feel about the song?
He didn't like it.
As the interrogation progressed, police officers came to the realization that Abdul may have been an accomplice to his son's crime, seeing that he helped Hakeem and 3 others flee the scene after the incident.
Now, going again back to January 15th of 2020, that day, were you called by Abdul Robinson Jr., your son?
Yes, sir.
And was that from a number that you recognized as belonging to him?
Yes, sir.
What did he want?
He wanted me to go pick up Scotty.
Okay. Did you also get phone calls from Leroy Whitaker?
Yes, sir.
And what did he want?
Telling me where he was at to come pick him up.
Did he tell you if he was alone or did he have anybody with him?
No, he said him and Buddy was together.
So Leroy Whitaker and Dominic Barner. What do you specifically remember them saying?
That they crashed the car, the police chasing them, and Kim jumped out the car. They went one way, he went another way.
Did they say whether or not Hakeem Robinson, Keamy, had anything with him when he jumped out of the car?
Yeah, they say he had a gun with him.
Did Leroy Whitaker and Dominic Barner mention to you if anything had been left behind in the car after it crashed?
Yep, they said they left a gun in the car behind.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Before the car crashed, did Dominic Barner and Leroy Whitaker say anything about what someone in the car maybe was going to do as they fled from the police?
Oh yeah, shoot at the police.
And who was going to specifically be the one shooting?
Keamy.
Hakeem's father, who seemed to have suspected his son's involvement in the crime long before the cops told him anything, revealed incriminating details about his son that helped officers lock the case. The information shared by Abdul and several other pieces of evidence was all the cops needed to tie Hakeem to the demise of Lil Buck.
In addition to that information, did you learn about being shot?
Yes, sir.
And who told you that?
Scotty explained to me that it was a guy that got shot. It was a little while back before this situation at a gas station that made the song.
So Leroy Whitaker was explaining to you it was a person that had been shot once before?
Yes, sir.
And who shot him the time before?
He did.
Scotty?
Scotty.
And the reason was because of a song that he put out?
Yes, sir.
And so when he told you that information, were you aware of who this person was?
Yes, sir.
Did you see anything on social media posted by your son, Hakeem Robinson, that concerns you?
Yes, sir.
And what was that specifically?
They called it the store. It's on the store saying that the toes done.
Was that like an Instagram store?
Yeah, Instagram store.
And was that something that was posted by Hakeem Robinson?
Yes, sir.
When you saw that, were you upset?
Yes, sir.
Did you try and reach out and speak to Hakeem Robinson?
Yes, sir.
And when you spoke to him, what did you tell him?
I told him he need to take that down.
Did he deny being involved when you told him to take that down?
No.
Now, as part of the discovery in this case, you've had an opportunity with your attorney to watch what I'll refer to as a dash cam video, a video that actually recorded the of Charles McCormick. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've watched that?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you watched that video, could you see what the shooter was wearing?
Yes, sir.
Could you see how the shooter ran?
Yes, sir.
How the shooter moved?
Yes, sir.
Did you also see the firearm that was used?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you watched that video of the Charles McCormick, did you recognize the shooter?
Yes, sir.
Who was the shooter in that video?
Hakeem Robinson.
Your son, Hakeem Robinson.
Yes, sir.
Hakeem Robinson is currently facing first-degree charges for the crime, and the date for his trial is set to begin on March the 21st, 2025. At least Hakeem's father knew his son had it in him to commit a crime, but the case is different for Stephen Powell, whose world came crashing down after being told his innocent child wasn't so innocent after all.
Somebody touched my wife.
What happened? I was too. She's going to jail forever. Wife's dead.
On March the 3rd, 2020, police officers were sent to a residential apartment to conduct a welfare check after the Associate Dean at Mount Union University, Mrs. Michelle Gaffney, expressed her concerns about the safety of an occupant. What Mrs. Gaffney and the officers didn't know was that this welfare check would lead to the discovery of one of the most awful crimes committed by a child against her own mother.
She's on the ground. Who is it? My mom! Someone broke in the back window.
All right, hold on.
She's on the ground.
Hold on. Where's your mom? Okay, stay right here.
No, there's so much blood. No, please.
Man.
She's around the corner. No.
Stop. Hold on, we gotta figure out what's going on.
1300.
Can you sit down? Can you sit down?
Oh, 9, get that 32 roll real quick. We got a female down, blue on the chest.
Search more. Take her outside. Come on. Come on.
Is she gonna be okay?
Come on. Come on. You just need to cooperate with me, all right?
I want my dad.
Huh?
I want my dad.
What happened? What's going on? What's going on?
We heard a bang. We heard a bang. And she told me to get out. And then I heard screaming. So I came back and she was on the ground.
Okay, you heard a
I ran
bang.
out back. There was a bang. Someone broke in.
Okay. What is your name?
Sydney.
Are you cut?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're cut somewhere.
I don't think so.
Yeah, your hand.
No, I was helping her. I grabbed her.
All right, stop. I tell you what, can you sit on the ground here real quick? Come on. Come on.
You said the ground.
Yeah, you're fine right there.
No.
You're fine right there.
I grabbed the knife.
Inside, officers found a severely injured woman identified as Brenda Powell and her daughter, Sydney, who was completely shaken by her mother's critical state. Realizing that the situation was more than they had imagined, backup was called to help out with the situation. Moments after the officers showed up at their house, Stephen Powell returned home from work to meet a complete disaster that would change his family's lives forever.
This is minor. They might have a more, I don't know, check that
that victim in there. She's got cuts on her hands. I don't know what they have in there, but there's a female down in there. Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know. We just got
dad. I'm the dad.
Okay,
Sydney. I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
Daddy!
What? What the hell? Where's my wife?
The window's broken, Dad!
Where?
The back window's broken in!
So you're gonna have to.
Daddy!
There's officers inside there, so.
She okay?
I don't know. There was so much blood.
Lady in the house, okay? She's got minor cuts.
Go ahead. Go to channel 5.
It's pretty bad up there. What's your name, ma'am? Sorry, what's your name again? She's got cuts on her hands.
Okay.
So.
Got cuts on her hands? Yeah. Take care of her.
Dave, I think this is, are you dad?
Yeah, I'm the dad.
Can you stay here with them?
We have another, I'll call for another med unit for her.
Somebody has my wife.
12.
12.
Can you start another med unit on here? We have a female constantly breathing, cuts to her hands. Fires. Oh.
Copy.
You said your name's Sydney? Ma'am, is your name Sydney? What's your last name?
He's probably. Yeah, he's in Talmadge. Yes, I talked to him.
What is it? Powell. What's your date of birth? Huh?
Yeah.
What's your date of birth?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mad units in there?
I have another one coming.
No, but somebody's got to take.
I have another med unit coming.
Both Brenda and Sydney Powell were transported to the hospital while the officers began investigating to discover what led to the incident. The outcome of the investigation conducted by officers led them to believe that there was never a break-in as Sydney claimed. And when officers spoke to her father, Stephen, it became clearer that their theory about Sydney staging the break-in might be right.
Who'd you get a call from?
Got a call from him.
Call from me. Oh, okay.
He said there was a call, went out, a distress call from the University of Mount Union where my daughter was going, and said, female in distress. I said, well, that's funny because Brenda's there, my wife. So I said, well, let me call. So I called Brenda, and it rings and rings on her cell phone. No answer. I call Sydney back. Rings and rings and rings. No answer. I call Brenda back. Ring, ring, ring. No answer. I'm pacing around. I call Jeep back, and because I'm on the phone with him telling him there's no answer, my doctor calls me back. I said, oh, Mom's on the phone with Mount Union. I said, well, the cops are on the way. And she went, there's been a break-in, and she just started going off. She said, somebody broke into the house. There's blood everywhere. And I'm like, stop. And then that's when I called. I'm sure there was conversations after that, but I'm not going to remember the detail. She was hysterical and crying. I called Jeep back and said, yes, I don't know what I told you. I don't know if I said it was legit or it's the cops on the way. There's been a break-in, and I left. Drove home and saw about.
So at first, when you talked to her, she said that your wife was on the phone with Mount Union.
Yes. And as soon as I said, cops are on the way, the hysteria started.
Stephen provided additional details about Sydney's behavior prior to the incident, which hinted at a possible motive to commit the crime. For some reason, he chose to cling to the hope that whoever it was that attacked his wife was an outsider and not his beloved daughter, even when all the puzzle pieces were now adding up.
She's been coming home on and off on the weekends a little, just odd, little frequently. Never seemed odd for sorts, you know. I mean, she acted perfectly normal. But she came back and I'm like questioning, well, why aren't you at school? Why are you coming home? And, you know, it's all the same, just, you know, the vague non-answers. And so she turned off her like Life 360 app. But I think on that app, you can't see where she's going. You can kind of see highlights of where the phone was. Well, you know, I'm kind of looking, I'm like, oh, well, you're not where you're supposed to be. This is kind of weird. So I called her on it and I said, you know, Mom, because I went on, so then I tried to go on the Mount Union website and I say, I figured I was just see if there's anything on that. Parents only have so much, you know.
Right.
I'm willing to pay the bill and everything, but if you want to find anything about it, you're out of luck.
Right.
So, but I figured I'm going to try. So I sign on, it says your password or your login or password ID doesn't work. I'm like, well, that's weird. So I recover my password and I put in the right answer and it didn't work. And I did that a few times and I texted her back and said, something's not working, what's wrong? She comes up with something that says the website's down, basically, and you know, but I'm working on it. So a few days pass later, nothing seems out of the ordinary until maybe it was today, I tried to get back. Oh, Mount Union calls me today because I sent them an email that says, my user ID is this, my ID is this, my password's not working, my recovery answer won't work, and I know where I was born, I know my car, and it doesn't, when you type in your recovery email, the system just, it didn't recognize it. So I sent Mount Union Billing an email and says, basically, what's wrong? So she called me back today and says, well, the reason you can't get on, long story short, is your daughter's unenrolled. So I went, what's going on? So I text Sydney, I'm like, oh, give me a call. I have a question to ask you. I call her, no answer. I say, give me a call, I have a question to ask you. And I look on that little Life 360 app, and her car was at home. I'm like, wow, that's kind of weird. So I leave my phone at home so she can't track me. And I go home and there she is, she's at home. Perfectly normal. She's crying because I said, what's going on? Are you not going to school? She goes, I'm overwhelmed in school and I don't really like what I'm doing and it seems like it's a waste of my time and your money. I said, well, but that's all part of it. Nobody's going to tell you you need to do what you're doing when you're 20. You need to figure it out. But you have to work through the problem. You can't just ignore the problem and have it go away. It's not.
I'm sorry, when did you have that conversation?
Today, like 11:30. I don't remember. Yeah, it was. I left work because it was before lunch. It was maybe around 11 because I was probably there from 11 to 11:30. So from her phone call. So that's what I said. You know, my recommendation is call the school back, call the student union, get reinstated, and then if you have to take the summer off, take the summer off. Figure out what you want. You just go take summer class because she changed a couple majors, and that's what she goes. All my friends have their shit together, and I don't. I said, well, I'm 54 and I don't have my shit together. Don't look at it that way. You need to work the problem. You can't just have the problem sit there and ignoring it is not going to do you any good. So I went back. I called my wife and called my daughter's phone.
After Stephen informed his wife, Brenda, about Sydney's suspension from school, she drove home to meet up with Sydney, not knowing that a ruthless end awaited her. When police officers questioned Sydney about what had happened between herself and her mother, she remained quiet and provided no response at all. Her best friend and roommate, Lauren, was later invited to the station to gain more insight about the type of person Sydney was in school.
Now, we understand that Sydney was your roommate at Mount Union?
Yes. She was for last year and then this year until she left.
So how did that work? Did you both plan on going to Mount Union or? Okay.
Yeah, she liked it first and I was like, I don't know. And then I visited there and I was like, oh yeah, this is the place to be. And then when we both got accepted, we were like, oh, we're definitely being roommates.
And so you've been friends ever since your soft freshman year at St. B?
Mm-hmm.
Go over each other's houses, everything like that.
Yep.
So what are you studying at Mount Union?
Education.
Education?
Yes.
And what was Sydney taking?
Well, she started off in exercise science freshman year, her first semester, but then she didn't like the classes, so she switched over to psychology and sociology, but then she didn't really like that, so this year she switched to education, and then she didn't like that either, and that's one of the reasons she left, is because she really couldn't find what she liked, so she was trying to figure it out.
When you first got to Mount Union, how did it go for Sydney? Did she seem to be, I mean, you mentioned that she didn't really, find a niche as far as what she wanted to study, but I mean, did she ever talk to you about her classes and how that's going, or did you share that with each other?
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about classes a lot because we did homework together a lot. I think she was, like I said, I think she struggled in her classes. I don't think her grades were the best, but she didn't really tell me that because I wasn't really struggling, but I think you could tell, kind of, especially at the end, that she just wasn't doing her best. In high school, she was very good grades and everything, so I think it was kind of a shock for her not to be to struggle. I think. Well, I know she's had anxiety for a while, but I think it was this last semester, starting coming back in January, when it really started that she was kind of more upset because she really didn't know what she wanted to do. She didn't like her classes, because that's when she started the education classes, and my friends and I were worried for her because we didn't know what was going on because she didn't tell us, and there was problems with housing or something. Just we shared a room and had put names on the doors, and her name wasn't on it when we got back, and we were confused about that. And she said it's because they messed up, because she didn't sign the forms right or something, but it kind of never got fixed. And then she left.
Once the investigation concluded, officers mustered the courage to inform Stephen of the soul-crushing news that his own daughter committed the crime and ruined his family forever.
Well, really bad news. Your wife passed away.
What happened?
We're not sure. It looks like, I don't think someone broke into the house. I don't know if your wife and daughter got into an argument, got physical. I mean, the window was broken, but there's no forced entry into the house. The window's broken, but nobody actually came through that window. And the sliding door was unlocked. So, did your wife and daughter ever have really heated arguments?
No.
And we're here for you, Steve. We're here for anything that happens from here on out, okay?
This is not possible.
So sorry this is happening.
I'm gonna go. Where can I go?
Your son's outside, but he doesn't know anything that's going on.
My son's here?
Yes. We got him from school because in a situation, the way social media is, people, we didn't want him to be at school by himself.
Would you like one of us to just go be with your son?
I don't know. I don't know. Take your time. There's no rush for it.
Clearly they think Sydney did this. I was too. She's going to jail forever. Wife's dead.
You know, they're going to do everything they can to make sure that they find out exactly what happened. Nothing's definite as of yet. They still have to do their investigating.
Sydney Powell was not only found guilty of taking her mother's life, but also felonious and tampering with evidence. She was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 15 years. Just like Sydney's father, the father in this next case completely broke down when he heard about the vile crime committed by his son.
What you did is heinous, Cody. No, I know you want to be with your family, and I want to be with you. There's something wrong, man. We have to fix that. Do you understand that? You did something that, you've got to think about it. I know.
On March the 3rd, 2011, a mother of three, Celia Constanzo, drove down to her daughter's high school in search of her after she observed that her daughter never returned home. When Celia couldn't find her daughter at school, she immediately headed back home and alerted her other daughters about the disappearance of their sister, Michaela Constanzo. All three, including friends of Michaela, began trying to reach her via phone and even went out looking for her at her favorite spots. With no success finding Michaela, Celia called the police to report the situation, but given the possibility of this being a classic teenage runaway, the police decided to wait until the following day to see if she would show up at school. When Michaela failed to show up the next day, the officers began their investigation and invited her boyfriend at the time, Javier Trillo, for questioning.
What does she go by? What's her nickname?
Like usually Mickey.
Mickey?
Yeah.
Are you her boyfriend? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, we've been like on and off for like a year and a half.
Yesterday, you seen her yesterday, right?
Yeah, the last time I saw her was during lunch.
What was going on during lunch? Where were you guys?
Well, usually like if we have good grades, we get an hour for lunch. And our lunch starts from 11:30 to 12:30, so we have an hour. And we were feeling hungry, and so I wanted to go to the taco truck. And she's like, okay. And we went, we got burritos, we came back to school, we ate them. And after a while, like, she went with her friends, and I went with mine.
That was the last time you seen her?
Yeah, that was the last time I saw her. No, we walked down the hall together after lunch, and after that, I never saw her again.
Okay.
Because we have split classes after that.
What did you do after school?
After school, I picked up my brother and then went home right away to go and change.
And what time was that?
Like around like 3:40, 3:35.
Okay, and then what did you do after that?
After that, I went to work.
What time did you go to work?
Well, I left to work like at 3:45. Got there like about 3:50, 3:51, and clocked in like at 3:55, and I didn't get out till like 10.
Did you text her or talk to her?
Yeah, no, it's because I didn't know something was going on.
Okay.
No, but yeah, like I was saying, I was working and I guess Michaela's mom went to my house and she told my brother, have you seen Michaela? Like, is she with your brother? And my brother told her, no, my brother's been working ever since out of school. And he went looking for me at work and he goes, hey, is anything like wrong with Michaela? Is she alright? Because her mom went looking for her at her house. And I go, yeah, everything's fine. Why? She goes, I don't know. Like, I just have a feeling something's wrong. And then he left and I go, like about an hour and 30 minutes later, Michaela's mom came and did you know a police officer named Kat? Or she goes by that? Yeah, they came looking for me and they're like, hey, like, have you been hanging out with Michaela? Like, did you hang out with her after school? And I told them, no, why? And then they told me because she's been missing. After track practice, they didn't know where she was. And
okay.
I told them no, that I came to work like right at 3:45 and I didn't see her.
Do you know anybody she would have been with after track practice?
Well, usually she gets rides from track practice or else she goes home walking. And if she gets a ride home, she gets one from And then if she goes walking home, she goes to the back because our school has a football field in the back and there's a little shortcut through the right. And she goes in through there and there's this little cul-de-sac and she goes through there and just follows the sidewalk. Like, I don't understand if she went walking home because it was kind of cold and I don't know why she'd do that because usually the one that gives her, like, rides. She's the one that gives them the most rides.
Michaela's phone record was later assessed and it showed that she had received multiple calls and messages from another kid at her school, Cody Patton. This new information seems like a great lead, and officers knew it was important for them to bring Cody in to make a statement. Although Cody and Michaela once lived in the same neighborhood and dated for some time, the two had parted ways, and because of this, the cops had suspicions about Cody's multiple phone calls. During the interrogation, Cody told the officers that he had called Michaela several times to ask for assistance in a welding shop. He went further to share some alarming details about Michaela and Javier's relationship that made officers begin to wonder if there was more to Javier.
I went from Mr. Eulamont, my math teacher, Mr. Lee.
Okay.
I went from his class about, I'd say about 3:20 or so. I went to welding shop, talked to Lobato. I was in there for a few minutes and I left his class. Can't remember what I did. And I went back and I was talking to him again for a few minutes.
Back to Lobato or back to Mr.
Back to Lobato. And then at the end of school, I walked out, and as I was walking past, I saw Michaela, and I said hi. I don't know her, and she said, "What?"
Where'd you see her at?
At her locker. On the long hall.
Okay.
Right, kind of where Lobato's class is. And she goes, "What?" And I stopped and turned around so she knew I was talking to her, and I said, "Oh, I'm just saying hi." And then she goes, "Where were you at?" And I pointed, and I said, "I was in Lobato's class." She goes, "Oh, okay."
And this is what time, you think?
About 3:30 something.
Okay.
32, I don't know. And I went outside and I left.
You left to what?
That day I saw her up where the V is at in our front of our school, where the two walkways are on the left side, talking with our boyfriend and arguing, and then for at least a week they didn't really say nothing to each other, and then at least at school they didn't. And seemed like they're, I guess, tense towards each other.
What do you think that was?
There was a basketball game home, so I don't know, maybe 2-3 weeks ago. Maybe, it was probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, actually. Because I just barely.
Your boyfriend might have been. Has something to do with this? Is what you're trying to say, or?
No, I just trying to throw, like you said, throw relevant stuff out there.
Javier's workplace and Michaela's mother attested to his statement about being at work, leaving officers with no valid reason to make him a suspect in his girlfriend's disappearance. To corroborate Cody's statement, the cops spoke to his girlfriend and fiancé, Tony Fratto. Tony's narration of events validated the initial statement provided by Cody, giving officers reasons to believe that he may not have had a hand in Michaela's disappearance.
And then about 5:30, he texted me and said that he was home and he's gonna...
About what time?
About 5:30.
Okay, he texted you? You saw that text?
I don't.
Okay, he texted you and said he was home.
Mm-hmm. And he said he was gonna work on some of those parts and work on his RC cars and everything.
Okay.
So, okay. And then we were texting, we're planning to go do something, get out of the house. And so he came and got me about 7 o'clock from the golf course. That's where they're holding the meeting.
How many times did he text you between 5 and 7?
Maybe 10, 15 times.
Okay. So at 7 o'clock, what did you guys do?
We went and got drinks at McDonald's and then just sat in McDonald's for a little while, talking and everything. Yeah. And then that's about the time we sat there close to 45 minutes or whatever, just talking and everything. And that's when we started getting like texts and calls and asking if we'd seen Michaela, and I said, we haven't seen her at all. And so after about like 5 calls or whatever, we were like, okay, something's going on. So we went and drove around to see if we could see her or anything.
Can you recount where you drove around?
We started over by the school, kind of made our way down to Hanson Storage.
Back at the school, Cody was texting, calling somebody? Do you know?
Don't know.
Did he ask anybody to come help him with anything?
I know he was was trying to get a hold of Mickey, but I don't know if she did or not. Cause
did he tell you he was trying to get a hold of Mickey?
He did tell me that he was trying to get a hold of her, but every time he called or text, she wouldn't reply or didn't answer.
What did he want to do? What did he want her with her?
I think just to load in the heavy metal or whatever, so she could grab one and he could grab the other. But I don't know if that happened. I don't know.
2 days after Michaela went missing, a mine worker called the police station to report that he had found something odd in the desert while returning from work. When officers went out to the location, they found the body of 16-year-old Michaela Constanzo. With such an eerie discovery, police officers doubled down on their investigation to find out who may have committed the crime. They returned to Michaela's high school and asked to review the CCTV footage of the day she went missing. The footage showed Cody Patton pacing around the school's hallway before finally following her when she was leaving school after practice. Now that Cody's statement was contradicted by the footage, the attention of the police shifted to him. They began interviewing those in his life, including his parents, who expressed concern about the lady who lent Cody her car on that fateful day. After Cody's parents' statement, the woman was called in to answer questions about the car and who had been using it.
So when was the next time you had contact with Cody, whether it was in person or calls or texts or?
Texting throughout the day. You know, we were going to go to Metro after school. He said, no, I've got to hurry and get this stuff done. And then about 5:45, I'm like, I need my car. I'm not done yet.
That's all he would say?
Yeah.
What else do you think you text back and forth?
Just hurry, I need my car, you know, nothing. And he didn't seem irritated or anything. It was just normal conversation.
And when you let him have the car, you say about noon, what condition was it in? I mean,
Well, the night before there was that flash rainstorm, and I was at Smith's. And so it basically washed everything off that was there before, you know, so it was clean from the rain.
When you got it back, what did it look like?
It was dusty.
When friends and teachers of Cody admitted to his aggressive behavioral pattern, it gave officers reason to believe that he had had a hand in Michaela's disappearance. Once again, they invited Cody to the station to provide a statement based on the new evidence collected.
Now, the issue we have is the scenario of what happened with her. And I'll be frank with you, it doesn't look good.
What do you mean?
Well, I'll tell you, the video from the school indicates to us that you were waiting for her, okay? Waiting for her to get done with track, okay?
I wasn't.
And that's why you walked by the girls' locker room 3 times. And you walked away from the girls' locker room 3 minutes before she left the locker room. That's exactly what happened. It's all on video, okay?
Okay, I told you I was in the school.
No, you told us you weren't in the school. You told us you weren't in the school at that time frame.
You didn't give me a time frame.
I did. You gave me the time frame that you were in the school.
So I can remember. I mean, let's say you sit here with someone with a gun to your head. Like, try and have to remember everything.
Listen to me. You have given more than enough detail right up until 5 o'clock and right after 7 o'clock. But between 5 and 7, you've got a serious lack of detail. And I think I know why.
Okay, why?
Because that was the time she disappeared. And that was the time she died. And you were involved.
I wasn't involved in her death.
I know you were now, okay?
How do you know I was now?
Because you basically told us you were. Now this looks really bad for you, but I think we can get past this. If you would just explain to us what happened.
I did not touch Michaela.
Listen, we know you have before.
Have before what?
We've got witnesses.
Witnesses say what?
Well, about you grabbing her and choking her and choking Tony. And we know you do that. We know you have some anger issues.
Me and Tony's issues are different.
Yeah.
Don't sit here and try to play on me and stuff.
I'm not
it's not
playing
working.
on you. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, you're trying to twist my past to make it fit this scenario.
I'm not twisting anything. Listen, you can either tell us what happened and be truthful with us, or we're just gonna have to go with what we got, okay? And I don't wanna do that because it's gonna make you look very bad right now. Okay? I need you to be truthful with me. All these mistruths, all these untruthful statements, they are, okay? You have been intentionally vague about several details, or they're completely false statements.
I haven't falsified anything.
You did, okay?
I haven't. You're not me. I have not falsified anything.
But you did, okay? That wasn't mud on that truck. It was dust. Dust that matches out at the gravel pit, okay?
Cody remained adamant about his innocence, but by the time investigators presented him with several pieces of evidence that pointed to his culpability in the crime, Cody broke down and admitted to taking her life after a fight ensued between them. Cody's father was allowed to speak with his son, and once he learned about his crime, he broke down completely.
You gotta start fixing this now, as much as you can. It's not about us anymore. What you did is heinous, Cody. No, I know you want to be with your family, and I want to be with you. There's something wrong, man. I want to be near you as much as I can. I don't want to abandon you at all. Okay? We gotta do what's right for the game as well. You've got to go all the way with this. You need to put it to bed as quickly as you can. You need to get out of this town. You know what that means? You've got to just do what they need you to do, and you know what I'm saying? You've got to do a written statement or whatever it is they need so that this can be done. Right now, we are getting our answers. They need their answers. The family needs their answers. I don't want this thing to happen to you guys. Tony, you know what I'm saying? Nothing's gonna happen to us tonight. I mean, Jesus Christ. This is it, man. This community can't do anything else to me. We have to fix that. Do you understand that? You did something that, you've got to think about it. Dad, I know.
The case took a more shocking turn after Cody's girlfriend, Tony Fratto, confessed to helping Cody commit the heinous crime. Cody Patton was later sentenced to life imprisonment without parole, while Tony Fratto was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole after 18 years.